Hi guys, here is your animal nature reading for the week of January 22nd to around the 28th. This should take us through the end of the month. And what we pulled today was Weasel. And the Weasel represents stealthiness. This pelt has actually been worn by royalty throughout centuries. And it is strategy through observation. The weasel is able to hide. They can change their fur between seasons and not be seen, but they have keen powers of observation. So when we talk about just sit back and be the observer a little bit, weasel energy is what we would want to call on. They're very good at kind of staying hidden out of the scene. And we'll even say, oh, wow, that person was a weasel because of strategy. You didn't see them coming kind of thing. But weasel also has positive aspects, particularly in observation and then taking on strategic. They're looking at like, what is maybe the enemy up to? What are people with negative energy? What are they really up to? And there is a time to engage and be mouthy, and we're going to wake people up, and we're going to blah, blah, blah. And there's a time to sit back and just watch and kind of stay hidden. And we had a card that came up for the last reading that was kind of asking you to kind of play dead a little bit. And that's really, this is like a continuation of that. It's not that you don't see what's going on and you're not going to acknowledge what's going on. You're just going to stay a little bit hidden and watch what is going on. Meaning you're aware what's going on, but stay quiet and just watch for a little bit. This creature is very discreet. And they're reclusive when they need to be. And then they show themselves when they need to show themselves. So they have covert tactics, almost like a military card, like special forces kind of energy comes to mind, where those guys know how to be hidden. You would never know they're there. They're taking in all kinds of information, filming it, blah, blah, for, military intelligence kind of thing. Weasel is almost like military intelligence. But I love it because this is really for your own life, okay? You're not doing intelligence for something, major like a military complex or something. But your own life, you are going to sit back, stay a little bit quiet and hidden and observe and take in all the dynamics. This is for the good of the whole, because you're going to collect information that will later be used to the benefit of the whole. And sometimes it's important to keep your mouth shut, not be seen, and just watch. So it's asking you to just kind of take it in, observe, keen observation, right? Like if you were up in a tree and you got to see over the whole valley and see what was happening. I love Weasel for this reason. Don't doubt your observations either, because this comes into that, just because you're not mouthy and out there with it doesn't mean you don't know what's going on. You know what's going on, and I think that you're going to save that for when the time is right. This takes some restraint. The weasel actually has a lot of restraint. Will just sit, carefully watch. In native tradition, it was the weasel that warned the natives, hey, these white men are coming on ships and they have like these weird thunder type weapons, guns, and gave a full report. But Weasel had been sitting there for weeks watching them come in. You understand? So sometimes it's important to just watch. What you don't know and you don't quite understand is to collect the information. You will use it later. You will use the reporting later. Kind of like how Mercury visits all the other planets, takes kind of the information in, gets a a report and then decides, this is what I saw and this is how we're going to proceed. That's Weasel. So strategy, take in the information from now. Stay discreet. No need to mouth off and show like, hey, I'm here, don't you see me? This is not a time to be seen. This is a time to blend in and watch and collect the information. I think the use of strategy that way and using restraint that way. And it asks you to emotionally restrain yourself instead of calling out right away like, I see you, I know what you're up to, is to kind of let it go and just collect, document, use the information for later. So I hope this helps you a little bit. I think it's hard. We want to get things going. We want to be out there saying this is right, this is wrong. But sometimes to stay stealthy, strategic, watch things. This is good in business if you're changing jobs or your current job. There's weird dynamics. You just want to sit back in those meetings or whatever, the memo that comes out, and just take it all in and think about, well, what am I going to do with this? Maybe later it'll come to me. But for right now, I'm going to stay quiet. I don't want to be seen. I don't really want to be noticed while I'm collecting all this information. It's a great Pluto card as well. So I think this is great. It kind of ties into the last card that was like, play dead, stay quiet. And I think really this is a wise decision. Collect the information. You will use it later. Be patient though. The weasel even, like I said, will change its fur color to blend in, whether it's snowy, green, whatever. And the fur will kind of blend in just so it can watch you for a while and really take in your habits. What are you up to? The full dynamic. I know you can do this. It's hard to stay quiet sometimes when you know something is wrong, and not to be talked out of that ever. Don't doubt your observation. Your observation is going to be very clear as long as you sit back and just let that observation happen. Be an observer in your life right now. I think that is wise advice, and I love the weasel. I'll see you next time. Thanks.